Welcome everybody to another episode of LANCESCURV in the morning. Late morning, but the morning. I gotta apologize. I woke up late because I stayed up late. And I made it one of my resolutions, although I'm not supposed to say that, you know, it's not a resolution thing, it's a lifestyle change thing forever. I just want to greet you on this. It's just a surprise kamikaze attack. We are back with the morning shows. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I'll still do all of the extras, but we have to do this. This is one of the staples. Like when you have a diet, the way you're eating, and you have a staple food in there that just is the backbone of your diet. We're going to talk about a few things today. And I'm going to pick at least 3 topics a day, and then we'll go off on other things. But this is going to be a short one. This is going to be a warm-up show that I should have done yesterday. Now, let me find my little story here that I want to talk about. And we'll move forward. I hope everybody is in good health, good state of mind, positive, looking forward to your day, conquering, achieving, making things happen. If not that, then just the rest. That's what it's all about. If you don't know what you're going to do for the day, kick back and rest a little bit. You know, you need your rest for the things that you're going to do. And let me tell you something. There's just so much information out here, so many things happening out in the world. It's just so hard to keep up with, and we should not even try to keep up with because we'll be zombified by the end of the day. That's what's going to happen to us. You know, you wake up, the worst thing you can do in the morning time is grab that phone and just surf. If you have the time, if you're retired or if you have a day off, you might sit there laying in the bed for 2 hours surfing with your mind occupied and locked down, not being able to do anything for yourself. And that's tragic. Now, what do I do when I wake up? I get the phone and I surf. So I'm telling you not to do something that I do, but I have a purpose for this. Wow. Lusanda, hello all the way from South Africa. Wow. I'm studying up on South Africa. I want to make a visit there soon. I'm already in Ghana, so I'm already most of the way there from America, and it's very interesting. And when you get a chance, hit me up with a email, lance@lancescurv.com. All of my information is down below. I want to speak to all the people here in the motherland from different countries in the motherland, and still some of those who are in Ghana, just all over the place. This is a new point in life for me, and I'm free. I'm free of America, okay? And we're still in the system somewhat, but time-wise, thought-wise, this is the best version of LANCESCURV ever in my lifetime because I have almost 60 years under the belt. But I'm still youthful. I have a lot of juice in my fruit, and I'm ready to attack the world. There are no boundaries. There's no toxic friendships. There's no toxic relationships around me. I'm free, and I still have my mind. And that's what you have to do in this day and age, is protect your mind. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, but the mind is a terrible thing not to use. Just sit it down there while everybody else uses their mind on you. Thank you, Lasanda. Anyway, let me move on with what I want to talk about here. Childhood obesity. Childhood obesity. It's a really bad thing here, right? Because how can we do better for the subsequent generations if we're stuffing cookies and cheese doodles and sugary things, and you know, it's just crazy, you know. But yeah, I would love to, but that's not going to happen that way. We are not on the same team anymore. We're actually, I can't work with somebody who's going to tear me down, Lasanda. That union is not happening. There's nothing, this is SCURV doesn't deal, I don't deal, and that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate when you realize that somebody is not what they claim to be. So we're all about positivity, not forming a cult and fooling people. When you see LANCESCURV, you see the real. I'm 100% me down to the years. I've been doing this for what now? Next month makes 22 years. You won't see one comment that says anything about my character or anything like that because I am who I am. I'm a little crazy, outspoken, and I don't run away from any topic, but that's just what it is, you know. Yes. Okay, we're going to get into this first article, right? And it's from the Griot. And I'm going to read it. It's about childhood obesity, but it's something about to happen that I don't like what I see. I'm going to read this article right now, right? Later on, I'll drop everything down in the description areas and in the chat room Well, not the chat room. Once the chat room closes up, that's it. But down below, for those who are watching this as a re-upload. Fetty, how are you? Now I'm reading now. I won't be able to say too much to the chat room, but this is what it's going to be. In general, doctors should offer adolescents 12 and older who have obesity access to appropriate drugs, and teens 13 and older with severe obesity referrals for weight loss surgery. Those situations may vary. Do you hear that? They're talking about children who are obese to give them drugs, and those over 13, surgery. Okay, I feel very strong against that. I'm going to continue to read this article. Children struggling with obesity should be evaluated and treated early and aggressively, including with medications for kids as young as 12 and surgery for those as young as 13, according to new guidelines released Monday. The long-standing practice of watchful waiting for delaying treatment to see whether children and teens outgrow or overcome obesity on their own only worsens the problem that affects more than 14.4 million young people in the U.S. I have something to say about that too. Left untreated, obesity can lead to lifelong health problems, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and depression. Waiting doesn't work, says Dr. I don't know his name. I can't pronounce it. I'm going to give it a shot. Says Dr. Ihuoma Eneli, co-author of the first guidance on childhood obesity in 15 years from the American Academy of Pediatrics. What we see is a continuation of weight gain and the likelihood that they'll have obesity in adulthood. For the first time, the group's guidance sets ages at which kids and teens should be offered medical treatments such as drugs and surgery, in addition to intensive diet, exercise, and other behavior and lifestyle interventions, said Eneli, director of the Center for Healthy Weight Nutrition at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. In general, doctors should offer adolescents 12 and older who have obesity access, or should they say excess, right, to appropriate drugs, and teens 13 and older with severe obesity referrals to weight loss surgery. That's what I said earlier. Those situations may vary. The guidelines aim to reset the inaccurate view of obesity as a personal problem, maybe a failure of the person's diligence, said Dr. Sandra Hasink, medical director for the AAP Institute for Healthy Childhood Weight and co-author of the guidelines. This is not different than you have asthma and now we have an inhaler for you. Young people who have a body mass index that meets or exceeds the 95th percentile for kids of the same age and gender are considered obese. Kids who reach or exceed that level by 120% are considered to have severe obesity. BMI is a measure of body size based on a calculation of height and weight. Obesity affects nearly 20% of kids and teens in the US and about 42% of adults. God, dog, 42%. It's a fat nation, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The group's guidance takes into consideration that obesity is a biological problem and that the condition is a complex chronic disease, said Aaron Kelly, co-director for the Center of Pediatric Obesity Medicine at the University of Minnesota. Okay. This is a long, I didn't realize what I was getting into. It's like you think you're going to a lake and you put your foot in and something big comes out and tries to grab it. You're like, wait a second, how can something that big be there like that? It's deeper, right? Anyway, childhood obesity. Is it a disease? Is it a lack of discipline? Is it a lack of guidance when you're young? This is my piece on it because I'm going to read these stories and talk about things, and that's how I do on this format. America is 42% obese, right? So it's a problem for the children even before they come into this earth. The adults are 42%. Tell me this. Why isn't that a problem elsewhere? Now, I'm quite sure the UK may have similar numbers or getting there because, you know, that's a parasitic nation and they push things on children. They don't teach you the proper way to eat. They put this advertisement out for all of this junk food and nobody thinks about eating proper. No child out here comes out from their home pretty much learning that Every single day, you need a certain amount of protein, carbohydrates, essential fats, water, minerals, and vitamins. On top of that, exercise and rest. And then you have to indulge yourself mentally outside of that. You have to live a full life. You don't have to be rich to live a full life. Why is it that in America, it's 42% of the adults and 20-something% of the children? I'm out here in Accra, Ghana, and I can see some people who have not obesity problems, but they're just overweight because now we're getting more of the KFCs and the Burger Kings and the McDonald's here, the junk food and the snacks. But I'm quite sure if you go back many decades here in Accra, Ghana, and many other African countries, as well as Black countries across the planet, when they didn't have access to this poison that they're pushing on us, chemicalized food that's not even food. I don't know what to call it. They have this thing called GMO, but that was GMO from back then. Anything that's processed out of its natural form. We're living in balance. We're not getting exercise. If you look at the picture on the banner, I had to crop it a little bit because I had to share space with the other stories I'm going to talk on. But the bottom line is, look at the kid here. Now, I'm not blaming the kid. I'm not blaming the child. He's got what looks like a potato chip in his mouth, right? In the other hand, okay, he's laying down in the bed. You don't see that part. But in his other hand, he has a remote. That picture right there speaks volumes. A chip and snacks in his hand. He's got the snack bag right in front of him, and the chip in his mouth, and a remote in his hand to a TV, I'm assuming. What else could it be? A computer? No, it's a TV. He's watching TV, eating junk. That is not natural. Is that the kind of household that he comes out of? Is he a latchkey child where he can do what he wants when he comes home? Children naturally, when fed properly and rested properly, want to exercise. They want to play with other children. We've gotten away from that as a nation. I don't know if it's an old time thing, you know, but I know when I was younger and I heard the other children out there playing, I wanted to go out and play with them. As long as I did my chores, what I had to do, my mother would let me go outside and play. And I would play all for so many hours, boundless energy. And then she might call me to come in and get lunch, and I'd go right on back out there again and had to be back in before that street light went off. Although I always got a little extra time. But it's so different now. Children have smartphones, children have computers, children have these high caloric snacks. The parents aren't really, and I'm not saying all parents, but if we had to exercise and we had good, healthy food in us, not junk food, because we're not going to want to go out there and play if we got a stomach full of junk. But what happened to the fruits and the vegetables? And even the things that might have been considered like a pie or a piece of cake, even that was more wholesome back then. Now you have to have a medical degree to read the side of the ingredients of a pie or a piece of cake. All of these chemicals, why? It should be 2 or 3 ingredients and that's it. Something you know, something natural. But they put all these extra ingredients inside the foods so they can have a longer shelf life, so it doesn't deteriorate as fast. Why? Because the longer it stays on the shelf, the higher the chance it is of being sold. So you can have something up there sitting up there damn near a year, and they'll put an expiration date on it, but who honors that? Many of the stores don't even care. I've gone to stores where they have something sitting on the shelf and I say, wait a second, you know this is like a year and a half old. Oh, sorry, okay. Even the people who own the stores don't care about you. And you go into the Black neighborhoods, you have some of the worst sugary junk in foods, these dollar stores, and it's a different quality, low quality. And we're embalming ourselves. These children have hormones that have yet to come into their system. This young boy is not hit with heavy testosterone yet, and he probably won't be. He'll probably be 16, 17, 18 years old with D-cup titties. I said it. Yes, I did. I'm not making fun of it. We have to speak harsh about these things. And so many people seem not to care until now. They're in their 20s with diabetes and the asthma. They get near 30 or even in their 20s and have heart attacks. Life was not meant to be that way. Even some of us who get into our 30s, 40s, and 50s, that's not supposed to be. But to say that now, surgery, chemicals, medications, they're already taking medication and poison in that food. Ain't that something? They're already taking it in the food. So what are we going to do? We have to go back to the old way. That's the solution. Somebody came and told me, Lance, you're always complaining about things. You're always complaining about what somebody's not doing and whatever. Well, you got to acknowledge the problem. Too many of us are in denial. Too many of us have our heads stuck in the sand. And too many of us are going to be burying our children, wondering what in the hell happened. Too many of us are so caught up in religion, when our children die from the problems that come from obesity, we're going to say, the devil's a liar. No, you weren't informed and didn't do the right thing by your child. That's the bottom line with it. Stop being in denial. It's crazy. Now, is this going to happen? Well, notice their solution was surgery. Notice their solution was chemicals. What does that tell you? Just like cancer. Oh, this music came in and scared the mess out of me. Let me put it down low in the back. Let me know if it's too loud for y'all. I like a little music in the background, makes it seem like I'm somewhere social. Well, this is social media, right? Let me know if it's too loud, y'all. You put it back in the comment section, right? But anyway, that's more money for the medical field. I'm not stupid. They're going to keep it going. Just like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, childhood obesity. Listen, hello, vice principal of the Obesity High School. Hey, this is Dr. Greedy here. And we're going to suggest to you that we have a different brand of potato chips that's even starchier that you can hand out as snacks. Who needs juice? Juice is not good for you anyway. It's processed just glorified sugar water. But we have something sugary, even more so, to clog the veins of the children. Also, we want you to cut down gym time or physical exercise altogether in the name of catching up on your studies. We want to give them more time in the computer rooms so they can sit there and do it after lunch. Give them extra potato chips and sugary sodas to suck on while they sit there thinking that they're occupying their mind and doing the right thing. This is a whole big cycle. They don't give a damn about the children. No, they don't. They do not care. They don't. Oh, let me hit this off because now I'm going to be going over into Andrew Tate. I want to know if you could hear this. I want to play something that just to give you a flavor if you don't know who it is, and I'll read something and explain it, but here it is. Let me know if you can hear it. Let it play one more time. Oh, no audio? Okay. We'll fix that. We will. I'm sitting here all quiet. I can hear it, and I had that problem from before, but I know how to fix that the next time. Maybe this. Let's just give it one more chance. Okay, here. Let me know if you can hear it. You can hear the sound. We'll knock that out. We'll knock that out. Wasn't supposed to do that, but you know, Andrew Tate, just off the top of the dome, and I'm going to read some things, right? Andrew Tate, if you don't know who he is, he's like, I won't say it exactly, but he's like a present day manifestation of Kevin Samuels with a little extra, you see? And there's a movement, not that he started a movement, but there's a movement of pro-male, I'm not going to call it rhetoric. Many people would, because many people don't like him. Now, he's like the most searched and Googled person on the internet today. And he's not backing up. And he makes statements like he did. And I'm not going to paraphrase it exactly. I wanted to play it. You know, and I'm not saying pro or con. We have to talk about these things. But he basically said that in marriage or with anything else, your car, you have to register it with the government. Your home, you got to get a mortgage, and you're locked in with that. Of course, there's certain laws across the land where the government's involved. But he said, come on now. Come on now. In my house, if I want to walk around with my penis swinging around and I have a chick, or I have a woman there, not a wife, but a woman there. And say, if I want to be committed, I can be committed, whatever, but she's there with me, you know? And say I go, and he said it raw. He puts his penis in someone else. He didn't say it that way though. Say I do that. Now the woman at home, if I'm married, can go to the government and say, oh, he put his thing in somebody else. I want half. I want this. This is wrong. Right? So, okay, let me see. Okay, can you hear me? Somebody's saying nothing at all. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, you won't be able to respond. So let me just say here in the chat. Can you hear me? It's in here. Boom. Okay, there's no sound. You just make sure before I go on and babble off, and let me know what was the last thing you heard that I said. But if you can hear me, I'll just keep going, because that means there's no interruption. Okay, you can hear me, and I'll fix that other problem with the sound bites. I just want to take a step out of it, because I used to be able to play in the computer everything and you'd hear it, but I'm just going to take it out and put it on my module and just hit the button and you could hear it. So I have that straightened out for tomorrow when we start, you know, doing other shows, and I want you to actually hear a person. Okay. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So basically, you know, he's that renegade guy who the general consensus, and this is me talking now, that masculinity, real masculinity, I don't mean being rude to women. I'm not saying talk down to women, but I'm talking about real men who hold down their responsibilities. The bottom line is that men or masculinity is like attacked now. You have to be watered down. You have to be effeminate. You have to be soft. You can be a man and be sensitive to the world. I'm a man. I know that. And I cry. I'm a man and I'm sensitive. And there's no human being on this earth, whether they want to admit it or not, that as a man doesn't mean you have homosexual tendencies, but we have both male and female energy in us. And what do I mean, female energy? You're not going to see me behind closed doors with some garter belt on and some brassiere and high heels. No, we're not talking about something twisted like that. I'm talking about the things that are known as more being female, the sensitivity, being empathetic, you know, kind, loving. I am that. But I'll bust your ass if you come after me the wrong way. I have to say it that way. If I see something done wrong to somebody, I'm like, we shouldn't have to wait to call the police to be men and police what's around us. In some neighborhoods, and especially where real manhood is lacking, you see the police. What you calling the police for? Make that kid get up and do the right thing. Back in the day in our communities, we had men who were sentinels. I don't care if it was a mailman. I don't care if it was an old man. It could have been a corporate man. But if he's walking down the street in his community and he sees youngsters doing something wrong, he's stepping to them. We are the police. We need to get back to policing our communities. And it's those types of men that the agendas that are put forth are trying to remove strong black men. And somebody's going to say in the comment section, well, it's all men, it's all races. Yes, we know that to a certain degree, but it hits harder with us. You understand? It hits harder with us. Now, let me go ahead and read, since we can't really hear any of Andrew Tate's, and that's just more for me in the preparation of things that I get these sound bites together. Now, where is the, oh, snap. I saw a picture on somebody's website, looked just like me. I'm like, what the hell is that? All right, let me see. I'm not going to read a whole article, but, oh, here's the part that says, who is Andrew Tate? All you need to know about the influencer arrested in Romania. Yes, let me just bring it up some. He was arrested on child trafficking. Oh, no, human trafficking. Oh, excuse me. Erase that. No child trafficking. Human trafficking. Because usually when you think trafficking, you think child. And rape. And from what I'm hearing, he was at a party, throwing a party or something, and there was some young lady who was there, and the boyfriend couldn't get in contact with her. The boyfriend called her, and she said something about being a party or something like that, hung up on him. He didn't like it. He kind of knew where she was in general, and he called the authorities, the embassy, and said that something was going on with her, either raped or some kind of whatever. There's a lot of stories going out there about it, but it was basically something like that. And he was at the party, and they went there, took him and his brother, and arrested him. But they've been looking to go after him for the longest time because social media has been banning his social media. Social media platforms have been banning his accounts. They don't like what he's saying. And he's saying stuff not just about relationships like Kevin Samuels, right? He's saying things about the world and the powers that be and the Matrix, and it's hitting home. Of course, he's a former fighter. I don't know if he's still fighting or whatever, but him and his brother were fighters, whatever. But he got too powerful. That's the bottom line. Now, is he someone here to separate the people? Is he a distraction? Possibly. Is he unique, and is he one who is the real thing? Possibly. We don't know. Is he propped up by the powers that be to look like a renegade so people can be distracted following him? Possibly. We can't trust anything in this world. So I'm not going to get behind somebody and say, rah, 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 although there's certain things that I do like that he says. And there's a video here that I'm seeing that I'm not going to take a chance and share it or show it, because today I woke up so late and I'm like, I don't want to show my face, but tomorrow I probably will show my face, and from that day on, and show clips and do different things like that. But I wasn't going to let this day go by without doing a show. And of course, I want to have it East Coast time, 8 o'clock a.m., 8 or 9. I'll see which one settles in with me, but I'm going to dedicate and keep this thing going. Okay, who is Andrew Tate? Emery Andrew Tate is a social media influencer and former kickboxer. Tate was born in the U.S. but came to live in Britain when he was 4 years old. He is also the founder of Hustlers University, an online academy where members pay a monthly membership fee in exchange for advice on how to make a passive income from several online industries. Prior to being banned, Tate had a huge Instagram following of 4.6 million. 4.6 million. His popularity soared after videos of him began circulating on TikTok. At the time of the writing, the hashtag Andrew Tate has accumulated 12.7 billion views, not million, 12.7 billion views. Tate was arrested by Romanian authorities over human trafficking and rape charges on the 29th of December. Now they say this is an update from 3 hours. These are constant updates because he had to go to court today, I believe, and here's somebody reporting on him, and they already you can tell they don't like him, right? The divisive social media personality Andrew Tate arrived at a court in Romania in handcuffs on Tuesday morning to appeal a judge's earlier decision to extend his arrest period from 24 hours to 30 days on charges of being part of an organized crime group, human trafficking and rape. Tate, a 36-year-old British U.S. citizen who has amassed 4.4 million followers on Twitter, was initially detained on December 29th in an area of north of the capital, Bucharest, along with his brother Tristan, who is charged with the same case. 2 Romanian women are also in custody. All 4 of them immediately challenged the arrest extension that was granted to prosecutors on December 30th. A document explaining the judge's motivation for the extension says the possibility of them evading investigations cannot be ignored and that they could leave Romania and settle in countries that do not allow extradition. A verdict from Bucharest Court of Appeal is expected to come later Tuesday. Eugene Vidiniak, the Romanian lawyer representing Tate, told the Associated Press. Romania's anti-organized crime agency, DICOT, said after the late December raids that it had identified 6 victims in the case who were subjected by a group to acts of physical violence and mental coercion and were sexually exploited by group members. The agency said victims were lured by pretenses of love and later intimidated, surveilled, and subjected to other control tactics into performing pornographic acts intended to reap substantial financial gains. Prosecutors investigating the case have so far seized a total of 15 luxury cars, at least 7 of which are owned by the Tate brothers, and more than 10 properties or land owned by companies registered to them, said Ramona Boila, a spokesperson for DICOT. Bola said that if prosecutors could prove they gained money through human trafficking, the property will be taken by the state and will cover the expenses of the investigation and damages of the victim. Now, there are other updates from hours ago. I'm not going to sit there and, well, you know what I'll do? I'll drop this in the, so those who are looking in the future can have it. I'll drop this link. Here we go. Hope this works. You can just go on and backtrack and get more sense out of it. I just read part of it, but this is an ongoing thing. So this is a witch hunt from somebody who has more influence than the powers that be want. Because when you start to get numbers and people listening to you, you have too much power. But then again, is he a propped up individual, set up to distract the masses? It has yet to be seen. But I do know, like in America, when you have the mafia, and they can't prove that you have what you have as far as the riches through the so-called criminal activities that you do, which who is America to say anything of the government of America? Because they indulge in their own criminal activities, don't they? All over the world, blood's on their hands ever since they stole the land from the Native Americans. And you know that drill. But they're the only legal criminals in the world. They go after the other criminals who threaten them. And they hate to see you skirt out of the system. Now, this is to favor Andrew Tate. I'm going to say some things and say some things pro and con. We have to be fair. But we do know that when you have a little more than others and you're doing your own thing and you're independent and you're speaking truth, the powers that be don't like you on all levels. Not just the big levels like him, because social media was meant to control. We thought it wasn't when it first came out. We thought it was a gift. You mean I don't have to write any more letters? I don't have to, make those phone calls in the middle of the night and say, we're just going to talk for 5 minutes, only after 12 midnight when the rates are cheaper. Or we had to get those calling cards, right? Get those calling cards, and sometimes we pick the wrong card in the store, and this older lady who knew the deal because she done went through all of the cards. No, young man, you have to pick this one, because the other one drops off a little too, and you can get more money and it gives you extra. Oh, thank you. As soon as social media came around with the ability to make phone calls, those businesses vaporized overnight. And my sisters and brothers and family from the Caribbean who often use those calls, of course, folks in Mexico and South America, yes, but my experience has been that. They were the first ones talking about WhatsApp. What you talking? Listen, did you try WhatsApp? What you mean, did I try what's up? What do you mean, what's up? What's up? Did I try it? You're saying it to me. I didn't know what it was. Then they told me about it. I said, wait a second. This is free? Wait a second. You can call all over the world, and you can send pictures, you can send files, and it's free? Now, you know me, I was always like this in the almost 22 years that I've been online. I'm like, something's up with that. And you realize it's connected to Facebook and Meta, whatever they want to call it now. And Meta and Facebook is connected to the government. So wait a second. We talk about keeping our privacy and not telling all our business. But then social media has become so intoxicating that you see women in their house taking little selfies and stuff, clothes all on the ground and house not made up, and you don't want nobody to know your business, but you're standing in front of your garage. We can see what kind of cars you have. We can see your license plates. They have a GPS location type thing on Facebook where we can see exactly where you are. So you're low jacked. They're giving you free low jack in your phone. You know low jack. I don't know what they call it in different countries, but it's a device that you can put on your vehicle so that they steal your vehicle. The GPS and satellites can spot exactly where it is. But this is what you do, whether you know it or not. Even when they say, turn it off, trust me, they can triangulate where you are and find out exactly where you are. Not that they want to come after you for anything, but if you ever do anything, if they ever want you, they will find you. So really it's about control. Now we can't say what we really want to say on social media. It used to be that way. And they tag you and categorize you. Okay, he's a person who doesn't like those who stole the land from the Palestinians. You know who they are. Ah, okay, he's anti this. Oh, he's pro-black. Oh, put him in this category. And they had such a long time to define who we are and categorize who we are. And now you have an Andrew Tate who comes by and busts down everything and who's not afraid to say anything. And he's living a life of luxury. And he's telling you he has multiple girlfriends all over the world if he wants to. And he's not really into the whole marriage thing. He does what he wants. You can't stop me. And he online businesses where women who so-called want to do this to make money, they're trying to say it's human trafficking, and he's making them do this against their will. I don't know about that. You know, we can talk about that. I don't know. So I'm not a pro or con. I'm only speculating. But I do know from personal experience on a lower level, because I don't have 10 luxury cars out there. I just got like one pair of 60-year-old luxury feet. And I take the vans. But they come after you on all levels. But if he is really the authentic, true thing, boy, they got to get rid of him. And he hinted that eventually, if they can't bring him down, they're going to kill him. Now, if we see that they kill him, which we don't want anybody to be killed just by what they say, then we know that he's a real thing. You know, we have other people who claim to be pro us and pro, decisions and pro black and pro this. And we think they're riding with the people. And later on, they get a TV show like Al Sharpton did. Later on, they want to run for president or mayor and whatever. I use Al Sharpton as an example because most of you don't know the internet has been scrubbed of his past. Yeah. When people they want to prop up who have shady past, they want to prop them up. Well, guess what? They scrub, meaning that, what was it? Al Sharpton wore wires for either the FBI or the CIA. It's either one of them to go against some of his mob friends. Huh? But he was posing as an activist and a former, Reverend Al Sharpton. No, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. Why doesn't he open his mouth and speak out on LGBTQ rights since he's that? But they're not going to tell you that. But he had a wife and a girlfriend. You got more dudes out here creeping, trying to play with the next man and rub their things together like click-clacks, claiming to be straight and they're homosexual. Hey, that's your choice if you want to do it. Okay, in the middle of the show, somebody is calling me. So let me put a little music for a second, and I will talk to you in a second. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. That was a very, very important news call. I saw what Majola said. This guy has bad news. Yeah, well, we're going to have all types of varied opinions on it. All I'm saying is that let's just keep our eyes wide open. And if he is guilty of that, then he's a piece of crap, right? And we just write it off. And do we also throw away everything he said? Because we have a lot of people who say truthful things, but they're indulging in bad things, right? So let's just keep our eyes open. But I do feel that there is, aside from him, I do feel that there's an attack on our masculinity overall, and that laws are set up in a certain way, and they have these certain agendas. Look, you take an Andrew Tate who might keep his mouth shut going for a job, which he ain't going to do because he's so filthy rich. And another dude who looks like him, has the same exact resume as him, and he's a bit effeminate, and he lets you know how he speaks. Yes, I would love the job, me and my partner. That dude is going to get the job. They favor that these days, Yeah. But yeah, this is the thing. They will attack you no matter how large you are or how small you are. But look back on the plantations, how they would get the biggest and strongest and buck break them in front of everybody to put fear in everybody that's around them. So he might be that. He might be manufactured by the powers that be. But let's break down some of the things that he may say. Look at Kevin Samuel's delivery. A lot of folks didn't like it. But then again, this is YouTube and you want to make it a little entertaining. But he did speak some truth, right? I mean, like I said, the story I always tell when I was lost in Atlantic City after taking some people on a tour, and it was late and it was dark, and I was trying to get to a particular highway because I had to go to Philadelphia first to drop some people and then come back up to New York City and bring the other ones back up. Couldn't find the right highway. It was dark. I asked all these people, they couldn't tell me until I ran into a pissy drunk sitting on the curb. He could hardly get the words out, but he gave me the right directions. And I got to where I had to go. So sometimes the messenger may not be somebody who's too pristine or maybe a little shady, but they tell you a truth. And maybe everything out of their mouth may not be a truth. So let's, my name, little old name, has been smeared and attacked. And I will say those people who stole the Palestinian land after I had the irritated genie on, and it wasn't on YouTube, it was on another platform that I paid for. They immediately suspended my account because of that. And I paid for it. And they kind of looked the other way with a lot of other things. So right after that, my website was attacked. And my website can't be brought down. It's just too many secure things there. But it's like you having a $50,000 security system on each of your windows, each of your doors. Around the perimeter is set, high walls and electric wires, everything. That doesn't stop somebody from being outside and throwing a stone at your window and breaking it. And that's what they did to let me know we can do certain things. And they took certain videos down and put up some videos of people sailing that I didn't put up on my website because I control it 100%. So if I can't speak on YouTube the way I want to all the way, or on that other platform, well, guess what? I'm going to write in a vicious way and say everything I want to. And I dare you to come and get me now. You see what I mean? But I'm shrewd. I know how to work around certain things. But that was to let me know, whether you're large or you're small, there's certain things. And these are their platforms, right? And this is what I was trying to explain to somebody the other day. And they're like, oh, no, but it's not right. It's censoring us. And it's not right. It's their stuff. It's their content. It's their platform. If I come over to your house and I'm a smoker and I like to drink, and I say, and you say, listen, no smoking here, no drinking here. Well, guess what? I have to listen to you because I'm in your house. If you're in YouTube's house, it's not that you're scared, but why would I be so foolish and want to challenge them and then boom, I'm knocked off and now I can't get to you? I want to be here where I can get to you and then we can go somewhere else. And this is why I say LANCESCURV.com. LANCESCURV.com. The videos may be YouTube and the other platforms may be a certain way. So what am I going to have to do for the more so-called controversial videos? I'm going to tell you my strategy. And if you're in the same position, do the same thing. This is what I'm going to do. I'm searching around now for not only just a hosting company, because I have a hosting company that's not located in America. Because years ago, I was with Bluehost, and I'm putting their name out there. Don't even mess with them. I was with them from 2007 to the end of 2018. And when they saw that my content, which was none of their business, I wasn't talking about killing people. It wasn't no kiddie porn. It wasn't no foolishness like that. They started to knock down my site on a regular. Oh, we're just backing it up and it has to be down for a little while. No, you effing with me. So we secretly took all the contents and everything on my site and transferred it over and discontinued it with them. You have people who come to you. There was a woman who used to be on my show. I ain't going to say the name. Up until early 2019, and you don't see it no more here. I allowed her to get on my server because she didn't have much money. Well, she did after a while with the stuff she was selling. And I allowed her to be on my server to put a website on there. And she had a web guy. I gave him the codes. Dummy me. Guess what? My website was down. They clicked everything and deleted everything in 6 different steps. So it wasn't a mistake. It's like a little kid outside who plays a ball in, residential neighborhood, and they throw the ball and it breaks the window. Oh my God. And I did that one time. That was the most terrifying thing. Oh, I broke a window. I'm going to jail forever. But then he says he broke the window with the ball, but all the windows in your house are broken. That's what happened to me. I say, oh, I can't trust folks like that anymore. This chick I thought I was cool with, who's still out there, shut down my website. What kind of envy business is that? I can't help it if I've been around all these years. So we all know on lower levels, much lower than Andrew Tate. I'm not saying I'm lower than him, but he's known more, right? That I'm going to have to go and I'm going to search out adult hosting. And this is what they're doing. And I'm going to get back on point, but there are a lot of people who are gun enthusiasts, right? And YouTube looks down on that, okay? They're gun enthusiasts and they have taken channels down. Or you've got to limit what you share and say. So what these people have done, they maintained a presence on YouTube, probably not obviously talking about guns, but in a way, if I say I'm into kitchens, but I can't say kitchens, but I can say knives, forks, and air fryers, and blenders, and ovens, and you'll get the point that I'm not talking about boxing or boxing gloves or, any other type thing, bungee jumping. You say, okay, I kind of get the feel of what this is. So I'm searching around now for porn hosting. I'm not going to have porn, but I'm looking for the hosting companies, and I've got 10 of them I'm looking into now that allow pornography. Because what kind of limitations would they have there if I talk certain things? Even though we know those who stole the land in Palestine, they pretty much run that industry also. And I know that personally from the few people back in the day in the early 80s who were trying to get me into porn because of the body I had and the look I had. So I don't say everything all the time, but I've been through a lot and I'm perfectly made. I'm built for this, and they don't like people like that. So I hope that this is not true about him, because I wouldn't want anything to happen to anybody. But if it is, lock him up and throw away the key. You all know I'm fair like that. But I think he has spoken some truth that we need to look into in the society, and he is threatening. And sometimes the powers that be will allow you to be threatening, like playing good cop, bad cop. So you think, well, yeah, and then you go ahead and echo some of the things that he says, and they're watching you. I'm a little guy. I do what I want when I'm online, and I'm coming back to do this morning show. I didn't want to be held down. I'm not saying it's a burden. I love being here with you guys. But I had so many other things going on that I had to focus on. Still doing my shows, still doing things. But this will be the backbone. But yeah, I think I talked enough about him. I just wanted to put an hour in this morning or this afternoon for me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Midwest. And that's cool with me. If it's them, I'd rather them than the ones who stole the land in Palestine. You know what I mean? And it's not that I'm going to do porn. Let me get that straight, because some people might just pop in and pop out. Hey, I can't believe SCURV. I'm not going to support him anymore. He was talking about doing porn. No, it's not. But many of these platforms that allow you to talk, they come with conditions because we're in the age of censorship. You know, it's not like porn is censored right now. When you're looking at porn, you're looking at everything and all things, this shooting out and this getting wet and this getting licked and this. So if I'm just talking about something, it ain't worse than that. And even if I did that, that's what it's for. So for those who are concerned about censorship and having your stuff shut down, you know, go ahead and look after some porn hosting. And I'm not looking for porn hosting actually for just video, because that can get quite expensive, because video files are much larger than just the written word or just pictures. I'm going to have mostly written word, pictures, and occasional video. Like when I had the irritated genie on, and I could embed it in LANCESCURV.com without the fear of it being taken down or compromised. Because, you know, in that video, also that video is on, the one irritated genie is on Rumble, but embedded on LANCESCURV.com. And so if you go to LANCESCURV.com, on the left-hand side, if you scroll down, you'll see, boom, irritated genie. There's that particular show that we did that showed the Ukrainian president dancing in a gay video, and just things that people don't want to see, or they don't want you to see. We want to see them. The technology involved. It's crazy out here. So I'm going to let that slide. I can go in. I can do a 3-hour show on Andrew Tate, but I just wanted to touch it like that and then leave it alone. And let me move on to this other one here, which is just of a footnote. It's almost a rest in peace kind of thing. Let me just read this out. And this is about Diamond. Diamond and what's her partner's name? Diamond and Silk, the pro-Trump duo, the ones who supported Donald Trump, the two black ladies that a lot of people said, well, they have the right to do what they want to do. And some people said they were clowns. They were black women supporting Trump. I mean, you can say and do what you want. I look into everything. I look into why people do the things that they do, because it's very important to do so, right? So let me just read this. I got to take a little run because I got that phone call. I have something to do. I don't even have enough time to take another shower. I got to go out there funky. Oh, God. I just had to do some photography for some property owner. He's building and doing things out here, and he wants to take a few pictures of his properties. And that was unexpected, but we had planned this from like maybe 2 months ago, and he's a very, very busy man. So I said, okay, I'm almost done anyway. So anyway, here it is. Lynette Hardaway, Diamond of the pro-Trump commentators Diamond and Silk, has died at age 51. Now that's the one on this banner on the left-hand side. The two young ladies, the one on the left, not the obese kid or not me way on the left-hand side, but out of that duo, Diamond is the one on the left, right? Really bad news for Republicans and frankly, all Americans, Mr. Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform. Their own Twitter account later confirmed the news, saying the world has lost a true angel. The sister duo were well known in U.S. politics, particularly for their YouTube and television appearances, fervently supporting Mr. Trump. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, if that's how you pronounce his name, was one of the several prominent Republicans to respond to Mr. Trump's announcement, tweeting sad news. Her cause of death was unknown, but in November, there was a plea for prayers for Diamond on their Twitter account. The sisters grew up in North Carolina to Christian evangelist parents and were Democrats until they switched to support Mr. Trump. They first came to national prominence during the Trump presidential campaign in 2016 and soon became a favorite of his. Regular appearances on Fox News followed, and then a show of their own on subscription channel Fox Nation. But Fox News cut ties with them after they caused outrage by promoting coronavirus misinformation, which was probably true. They just wanted to stop them. But you see how quick and how sensitive these platforms are to stop you? Can't you have an opinion? They got me for the C virus videos, and I was only asking questions. And now because I said C virus, they probably just might look into me now also, right? It's crazy how it is. So now they gave us all of this stuff. They gave us all of this stuff to so-called have freedom to speak, but they use it as a way of pulling us out of our, our safe haven and into our private conversations. We have no privacy anyway. They can go into our emails, what they call it, the Patriot Act, after 911. And they were doing it before then. You best believe they know what's going on. And so now we're at this point now where so many so-called celebrities and girls twerking and sexual things and things to bedazzle us. There's something in the YouTube grab bag to just grab our minds. And so this is with me. I put my foot in and take my foot out. I do a lot of work online, but I'm not caught up in it and immersed in it. I have times where I take a walk and leave my phone at home. You know what I mean? I'm not online all day like that. I have things that alert me, people who share things with me, and I check periodically, and I go back to regular living. There's a lot of things I'm doing now that I want to bust out within a couple months, and I have no time to just sit here like that and be captivated that way. And living life in live time on social media. You can't even sleep. I know some people who sit up with the phone in their hand watching people's pages, following. Look, I'm followed by certain individuals. Anything I say, they're right there. They're right there. Oh, Lance, you got a typo in the title. It's like, God dog, thanks, but God, all day long, where's your life? And these not young kids either. These are people older than me. You're going to die with the phone in your hand. And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm going to wrap up with this, a little wrap up, and we're done because this is the time limit that I set for myself. But so many of us are going to die with our phones in our hand after living a nondescript life. Don't let it get to that point, because I know some real addicts on social media. And before you get the alert for certain things, or before they get the alert, they're right there. Let me just keep his YouTube channel up and just watch it constantly and refresh it. I'm doing my work, but I'm hitting this button and refreshing it. And other people get that too. The true celebrities, and I hate to use that word because I'm not celebrating these people, but they get that all the time. People showing up at their house, calling their phone. They have a website where with, like say, for certain basketball players or teams or celebrities, that wherever they're going to be or wherever they are, it gives that alert so the groupies can go there and intercept them and hopefully get lucky to get taken home or to the hotel room to later on probably bring scandal. That is a whole world beneath the surface that we need to talk about soon. That whole Instagram prostitution thing. See, we don't see what they used to call hoe strolls. Oh, don't go around that area. You know, every city has it. It's a warehouse area in the day, you know, automobile parts, junkyard stuff. It's like, yeah, you travel around that bad boy and what's that lady over there doing with her titty hanging out? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, the red light district. Well, you don't have to see that anymore. Women have taken to Instagram. I'm not blaming women. I can blame the men who are on there looking to pay for it. And this messes up our relationships. It's messing up our world. You know, so there's so many things that are screwed up that we're heading in the wrong direction as a society. And we need to correct that. Again, let me just tell everybody to download the LANCESCURV app at the Google Play Store, the App Store, and Amazon. Is free. I did it over again. It looks pretty fabulous, I might say. And always go to LANCESCURV.com. Drop some comments on the stuff that you see there. If you see a typo, let me know. Send me the link to the article or something that's off. I'm big on that. You know what I mean? If I have a typo in an article from like 15 years ago, I'm like, let me know. Why didn't you tell me? I like to keep my stuff up to date. I like to keep my stuff tight, so to say. You know? Well, I'm going to end it right here. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Tomorrow I may be on a little longer, but at least an hour to knock these things out. That doesn't mean I'm not doing anything later on now. See, I'm grabbing my cameras as I go with my friend here to videotape and photograph his property so he can put it up. I'm going to have that camera stuck out the window to get you some good footage to play up. And a lot of the footage that I put up that has no direction, it's just that. A peek over here wherever I go so you can see it as it is, not just the tourist stuff. You want to see the streets. You want to see the real thing. You want, oh, look at that lady carrying all that stuff on top of her head. Oh, my God. This is what I'm seeing all the time. You know, real life. So I carry you with me. So I accumulate these snippets of me going around here and there and whatever. No, non-directional. Sometimes I put music to it. Sometimes I talk over it. And that'll be one part of what I do. I just want to make sure that every move I make in life, pretty much, I'm not taking it to the bathroom with me or my bedroom. Okay. So we can leave that part out. But that way you can see. You can see, you can ask questions. I'm here. And just reach out to me. All the contact information is below, and I'll be flashing some things as the music plays. So let me sign off right now. And just, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad to be back on this level. We get right to the point on certain things. If there's anything you want me to talk about, you can shoot it to me. The contact information is below. And I'll talk about it the next day. If it's something, you know, I get some people who tell me some weird things, you know. I won't call names, and I'll share those things too because it's funny. It's mad funny, but I just enjoy living life. I'm a comedian. I want to do another comedy show soon too. I just want to, and when I do that, please excuse me. I mean, I may use some salty language, some spicy language. I just want to make you laugh. So much tension in the world right now. We need to laugh while in the trenches of the various wars that we're in, whether it's a physical war, spiritual warfare, mental cloudiness. We need to come out of that and laugh real hard. I'm not saying I'm the greatest comedian, but I do have some funny behind stories. And I have a whole lot of stories I haven't told. Some of them might make me look funny. Like, damn, I wouldn't tell that, Lance. That's embarrassing. Anyway, you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I have so much more to do. I'm going to record some things and put it up before the day is over. Maybe an interview. There's somebody who reached out to me. Let's get into that again. The old school flavor. Brother Indigo King 111 had said, man, or 1111, 4 ones, right? He said, man, I got to go back to the yellow stripe days. And that's what we'll call it. The old flavor when I was in Orlando and I had the black wall with the yellow stripes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start branding my channel back with that because I have some new yellow stripes to soon paint up. We're going back to those days, but it's for the future and it's going to be even better. Anyway, let me play my signature song and we'll be out. I love you all. Peace.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the gold. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. feed his half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa. With every ounce of strength and breath, his cry is give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come, wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up, the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.